All right, everyone, welcome back for another deep dive with us. And today we're really getting into something I think a lot of people struggle with, and that's how to deal with all that like administrative work when you're, trying to run an insurance agency.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. I mean, for so many agency owners, it can feel like you're drowning in paperwork, and you're spending all your time on these little tasks that just eat away at your day.
Exactly. And then how are you supposed to, actually like find time to grow your business, right?
Right. It's tough, and that's what caught my eye about this company, DR Outsourcing. We've got some material here about them, and it looks like they're trying to address that exact pain point.
So they're tackling what they call like admin overload,
Mhm.
things like certificates, renewals, all that client communication that never seems to end.
Yeah, and what's interesting is they're not just saying, hey, outsource to save money. They're actually positioning outsourcing as like a strategic way to scale your agency.
I like that. And they offer a pretty wide range of services too, from what I'm seeing. Certificate processing renewals, communication management reports, virtual front desk, lead follow-up. I mean, it's pretty comprehensive.
It is, and they even do some pretty specialized stuff too, like training and coaching, which we'll get into a bit later.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that jumped out at me, though, was they don't require long-term contracts, which honestly seems unusual for an outsourcing company, right? Most places want to lock you in for like a year or more.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's not the typical approach. So that makes you wonder what their thinking is there. Maybe they're just super confident in the quality of their work. They figure if they consistently deliver, agencies will naturally want to stay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
And it gives the agencies more flexibility too, which is important in an industry where relationships are everything.
for sure. And speaking of relationships, it's kind of cool that their founder, Ron Gustafson, was actually an independent agent himself.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too. It seems like that experience really shapes their approach. Ron's been there. He's dealt with the same frustrations firsthand, so he gets it. He understands the challenges of trying to retain good CSRs, for example.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. It feels like carriers are always trying to poach my best people. I can only imagine how much time and energy that must take to constantly be training new staff.
Exactly. And that's where this whole advanced insurance academy thing comes in. They're actually investing a lot in training their team both in person and with AI-driven programs.
So how does that work? Like, are they teaching them everything from scratch?
It sounds like they cover a wide range of skills, everything from basic carrier submissions to more complex stuff like client retention strategies. The goal seems to be to make sure everyone on their team can contribute to the agency's growth, not just handle the basic tasks.
That's a pretty ambitious goal. I mean,
Right.
how can they be sure their team is really mastering all these different skills?
Well, that's a good question. They talk a lot about using AI for coaching, providing real-time feedback, product training, even role-playing and support with social media and sales copywriting. So it seems like they're really trying to equip their team with the tools they need to succeed.
It'll be interesting to see how that all plays out in practice.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned earlier that DR Outsourcing is based in the Dominican Republic, and they have some pretty big goals for growth, right?
Yeah, their vision is to support over 1,000 insurance professionals and hundreds of agencies within the next 5 years.
Wow, that's huge. I mean, if they can pull that off, what kind of impact do you think that could have on the industry as a whole?
Well, it's definitely a bold vision. If they succeed, it could really raise the bar for the entire independent insurance sector. Imagine a world where agencies are freed from all that administrative burden and can focus on what they do best, providing amazing service and growing their businesses.
It's a nice thought.
Yeah.
And it all comes back to their motto, outsource the stress, achieve success.
Right. Exactly. So
Mhm.
for any agency owner out there listening to this, I think the key takeaway is to really take a hard look at your day-to-day work. What tasks are eating up your time and stopping you from focusing on those high-value activities that really move the needle? Could you be delegating some of that work and freeing yourself up to pursue new opportunities? If you could reclaim a significant portion of your time, what would you do with it?
That's such a great question for everyone to consider. So much food for thought. Well, thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the world of DR outsourcing.
It's been a pleasure, as always.
And for all of you listening out there, don't forget to check out their website if you want to learn more. And remember, outsource the stress to achieve success.
That's right.